Hi everybody, I'm Brenda. I am out here at Big Hill Park, day 3 of spring. This is what early spring looks like in Wisconsin. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the interpretive signs that Welty Environmental Center had installed out at the park last spring. This was with help from Visit Beloit. We had a JET grant to pay for the research, design, and installation of these signs. Today's sign is Prairie-Savanna, and I'm not going to read the sign to you. I'm going to show you where it's situated in the park, give you a little bit of background for the sign, and then at the end of this video we'll have a still of the sign itself so you can read it and see the beautiful photography that's included in the sign. So this area where Big Hill Center is located used to be a farm. During most of the 1900s was a farm. This property was sold back to the city in the early 90s and was allowed to lie fallow, which means that it was a farm, it was totally clear, and then seeds, whatever opportunistic species blew into the space, planted themselves and grew. So what we have is a mix of prairie, but a lot of invasive species as well. Welty moved into Big Hill Center in 2015 and soon after started working with Rock County Conservationists and Green Rock Audubon Society to start restoring this part of the park back to what it most likely was like before Europeans came to Wisconsin. Now, the area that I'm standing in was probably still forest, and it became more oak savanna and prairie as you move out towards Afton Road towards the west, sort of behind me. Because the area is already clear, what we're restoring to is basically an oak savanna. So this means an ecosystem that is a mix of prairie and oak trees, hence the name oak, so that there's spaces that are in shade, there are areas that hold moisture a little bit better, there's protection from the wind, there's protection from the sun, but there's also wide open areas that get a lot of sun, are much warmer, much drier, so an oak savanna can actually host a variety of species, more than, say, a prairie area, which needs hardier animals and plants to resist the wind and the heat and the open spaces of a prairie. So we're trying to bring back we're trying to get rid of invasive species. We're trying to bring back prairie natives by using seeds that have been collected in prairie remnants around Rock County. And what we're also doing in our efforts to clear is, thanks to a grant that we received from DuPont called the Clear into the Future grant, we are bringing a goat herd out to Big Hill Park. We did last summer. We're going to try to do that again this summer and possibly do a follow-up trip in the fall. The goats will come. They are fairly opportunistic eaters, so they eat some plant species. The milkweed took a hit this summer. The goldenrod did not, but they also eat a lot of things that are very hard for humans to actually dig up, like wild parsnip, which is has a photoreactive chemical that causes really bad burns when you try to deal with it. Thistle, poison ivy. These are all things the goats eat and take out of the prairie for us. So they do some of the clearing for us. And this aids the project that we're working on. So our goals for that grant were to try to clear about 8 acres around the Big Hill Center. It's a good start. This whole area is about 93 acres, so there's a lot of work still to be done. But like I said, this sign has a lot of information about what was here before Europeans showed up, how you actually do a prairie restoration, your goals, the activities that you can do. And at the end of this video, you can take a closer look at that sign and get a little bit more about that information. So thanks a lot, stay warm, stay safe, and hopefully I'll talk to you next week.